morning, Blogsters. This is it's still Christmas in this house. Good morning. I know it is like January 19th and it's still Christmas in this house, but I don't mind. Let me take a sip. You guys take a sip too, because good morning. Before I get into the story times, I want to just tell you, I missed you so much. And I feel like this is a broken record that I've been playing since September, but it has really just meant so much to me to have so many of you reach out to me with your kind words, your love, your support, just the praying for me. I feel it. I felt it. I still feel it. I am so loved, and I know that I have been an inspiration to so many for so long that I almost feel like I let so many down by going through what I had to go through, but I had to go through it. So if you did feel like I disappointed you in some way, I'm sorry about that. I just had to do this. I never had to do this before, so this process really just had to happen. So let me take another sip real quick. I got that out, and now I can tell you how it's been and what's been going on. So, good morning. Oh, wait. Cheesy thumbnail. So, we actually are almost ready. First, I want to show you new glasses because these are like my black ones. But Lisa got these, and she said they're too heavy on her nose. She gave them to me, and they're exactly like my black ones. So I was like, sweet. Now I got a new pair for the craft room. Okay. Where have I been? So some of you follow me on social media, other platforms, and some of you just follow me on YouTube. So I will tell everybody what's been going on. I know that there's a global pandemic, but I only went to places where people were tested recently, to be around people who were tested recently. And I'll tell you what's been going on. So, hi. As you guys know, many of you know that Lisa is one of my two very best friends. Sharon's in Florida, Lisa's in Texas. Lisa was born in Florida but grew up in Georgia. That's where her family lives, or her sister lives, and her niece and nephews and things. But that is like home to her. You know, she left Jacksonville when she was really young, so that's really just always been home to her. And she kidnapped me. So she called it, her words, not mine. She surprised me just with a couple of days' notice that she was coming. She came the Tuesday before Christmas. She celebrates Christmas with her family, like usually the Sunday before Christmas, so that they can all be with their new families. Like they all have kids and in-laws and things. So they can celebrate Christmas at home and start their own traditions, which I think is really, really sweet. So she was free on Christmas. So she packed in her little tiny Prius and drove the 12 hours up here and surprised me. I mean, she did give me, like I said, she gave me a couple of days notice, so it was a complete surprise, so I could have clean sheets on the bed and such. So she told me that she was going to kidnap me. She had a surprise for me. So I have to be honest with you, I'm very skittish about going out. I only go out if it's absolutely necessary. And I say absolutely necessary. I mean, when I'm out, I go to stop at Starbucks. I know Starbucks isn't absolutely necessary, but you know, if I'm out getting essentials, or if I'm out driving Jim, or we're out getting something to eat, like that's what I mean. But I don't like go out unless, like, even the Dollar Tree. I used to just go to the Dollar Tree to see what's new. Now I just go to the Dollar Tree when I need tissues and wipes and that sort of thing. So like if I'm going there, I need pop-up foil. There's just certain things I get at the Dollar Tree that I can't get anywhere else. Then I will go and look around, not as much as I used to and not around the whole store, just like certain sections. Because again, I don't want to spend extra time out. Anyway, so I've been really, she told me she was going to kidnap me to Texas, and I kind of started to have like a bit of anxiety. But Dr. Mike says be alert, not anxious. So I said, okay. I have packed all of my masks. They were cleaned and washed. I had extra hand sanitizer on me. I had my little mini Lysol spray that I keep in my travel bag. So I really felt like and my antibacterial wipes. So I kind of felt like, okay, well, I'm going to be ready for this road trip. So it's kind of funny that there's kind of like two major ways to get to Lisa's house in Texas. One of them is to go straight down like the country road of Rolla through Arkansas and then through Texarkana and then all the way down this sort of kind of country road in Texas, Highway 59, basically. You pick it up in Texarkana and you take it all the way to Houston. Actually, you take it all the way to Sugar Land. Or no, Stafford. We take it to Stafford. You can take it to Sugar Land, but that's not how you get off. But anyway, regardless. Side note, I'm crazy. And the other way is to go through Dallas. Basically, you take the I-44. You guys know I live in Rolla, so that's not a secret. You take the I-44 in through Oklahoma and then down to Dallas. And take the I-45 basically into Houston. So, when you take the south route, which is through Arkansas, it has got a lot of really twisty, windy country roads that have lots of sharp turns that you're supposed to do at like 55 miles an hour because people there know what to expect. But when you're traveling, you're like, oh my gosh, it's a really fast turn. Well, Lisa has a little bit of an issue with really twisty, tight turns. It's from her parents and it's her business to tell you. So she started my surprise going that way. And I was like, you know, this is the way you don't like to go, right? She's like, just shut up. I was like, okay. Now, full disclosure, I thought my surprise was going to be because she wanted to leave on Saturday. Christmas was on Friday. And she wanted to leave first thing Saturday morning. So I really thought my surprise was going to be like, everybody's going to come over on Sunday and we're going to have like a Sunday dinner and a mini Christmas with me or whatever. So I packed my Cricut because I figured if I'm going to be in Texas for 2+ weeks, the girls are going to want to do some Cricut projects. So I packed my Cricut. I didn't even take my glue gun or anything because the girls kind of like all have that now. So I just took the Cricut, and we're heading south, and I'm like, okay, and we're still heading south, and then all of a sudden when I'm supposed to go to Texas, we turn east, west, we turned east. So we got to about, I feel like it was Alabama, maybe it was still Louisiana, where she said, do you have any idea where we're going? And I said, well, we're either going to Sharon's or Sissy's, because Sharon lives in Florida and Sissy lives in Georgia. And she said, well, we're not going to Sharon's. But that was lovely, actually. Lisa's sister has been like a surrogate mother sister to her because she's so much older. Lisa is the product of her mother's second marriage. She's the only child of that marriage. So all of her other siblings are all older. In fact, her niece is 1 year. Yeah, her niece is 1 year younger than her. So Sissy had recently had a loss as well. About 6 months ago. Mine was 3. Hers was 6 months ago. So we were both like, just, I basically felt like it was a little bit of a group therapy session to be with her, to just, I don't want to say commiserate, isn't even the, like, I guess that is the right word. But to just have somebody who's going through what you're going through, it's terrible to say, but it's almost nice to know that you're not crazy feeling the way you feel when you have somebody who's going through what you're going through. That's why talking to my sisters is a big thing. Talking to my nieces and stuff. It's really a lot. better to have camaraderie in this type of situation, as much as it sucks to have it. But I think I mentioned this before, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'll just say it again. At the funeral, we just had so many friends have been in similar situations where they just lost a sibling suddenly and unexpectedly. And every time I saw one of them, I said the same thing. And I don't know, when you repeat it, sometimes it sounds disingenuous, but I said, this is a club that I never wanted to be a member of. You know, my older brother is getting older, and he's not in the best health. And you kind of, not you expect it, but if it's going to be somebody suddenly, you expect it to be somebody older, whatever. So it's just been a lot to deal with. But I will tell you that in December, I had my follow-up to my doctor's appointment. I lost 15 pounds in 3 months, 17 pounds in 3 months, which I wasn't even trying to lose weight, as you guys know. I'm just trying to not go blind. But you can tell by these glasses, I still need them. It's not working 100%, but it's a little better. My vision has improved a little bit. It's obviously still got a far way to go. I have spring follow-ups to see how the shots from the fall have worked, if they've maintained my blood sugar staying down, if they've maintained their de-swelling. I don't know how else to describe it. But anyway, when I went to the doctor in December, I said to her, I need something because the sadness is making me not function. And I have had, like, I have a very positive outlook most of my life. And the reason I've had such a positive outlook most of my life, like I've talked to everybody about, like, people say, are you an optimist? Are you a pessimist? Is your glass half empty or half full? I was like, I'm an ultra optimist, because I'll say my glass will be full again once soon. Like, I don't even look at it as like either. I just know that things are like, I have hope. And during this whole thing, I didn't lose hope per se. Like, my mind knew that I was going to get through it. And my mind knew that as a child of Christ, I was protected. But my soul and my heart were just hurting so bad that it was not listening to my mind. And my mind, like, something, it's, you know, and you feel, like, there's the knowing and there's the feeling. Like, I say that I believe in Jesus Christ and I believe in a higher power, but it's not even that I believe in it. I know it. I know that there is a higher power. I've had personal proof and evidence throughout my life. That's just me knowing. That's not me believing. That's not me assuming. That's me knowing. You don't have to. Some people need to actually see it to believe it and have never seen it. So that's the thing. Or see it to know it, excuse me. But so they just believe it from what they've taught. But I've seen the face of God everywhere, and my whole life. So I'm not saying that's made me sound like a crazy radical prophet or something, but I don't mean in the actual sense that I mean that I know there's way too many coincidences for them to be coincidences. That's what I mean. When you think about something and you get proof of it right away, that's what I mean by I know. Okay, so I know that Jesus Christ will protect me, and I know that I'm a child of God who will someday reunite with my family again. But my soul and my heart, and when I say my soul, I pretty much mean my heart, just hurt so bad that no matter what I knew, I just still had sadness. And it's hard because that's like the first time ever. I've had sadness in the past. The reason I feel like I am become so positive about things is because I've gone through so many trials as a child and as a teenager and as a young adult. I've had a lot of loss in my life. My mother died when I was 21. My nan moved in to help take care of us when I was first born, and she lived with me until she passed away when I was 12. And because there were so many kids in my house, we slept in the living room. So my nan slept in the living room, I slept in the living room. Not my whole life, just the parts that I remember, like from 5 on, maybe. And I remember her, like I would wake up in the middle of the night, and if I'd had a nightmare, and she'd be the person I turned to because she was right there. So, and my sister Julie too, from time to time, was in the living room as well. But anyway, so I've had like loss. I've had lots of loss. You know, my dad was like my best friend for a really long time, and when he passed, that was hard. But at least, you know, not and at least, and he was sick, and mom, like, she was sick. She had a heart attack in January and didn't die till August. We had a lot of life that we lived in those 7 months, so, or 6.5 months. So I had, you know, you prepare when someone gets sick, you prepare your heart. You know, but this obviously was just so much different. So my soul just needed like some help. So I went to the doctor and I said, I just need some help. I said, the sadness, I can't work. I don't want to vlog. I don't want to talk to anybody. It's too much. And she said, well, what can I do? And I asked her, I said, one of my sisters takes Cymbalta for fibromyalgia, and so does one of my friends. And I know that it also has antidepressant attributes. My one sister who takes it for her fibromyalgia really dealt with the loss so much differently. She was able to really get through it. And I just asked about that because we're, you know, genetically we're 50% the same. And if it's really been working for her, there's a good chance it'll work for me. So she went ahead and put me on it. And I didn't feel the effects immediately, but within a couple of days, 100%. Within a couple of days, I started to be able to work it out. Like, that's a big thing. I haven't been able to work it out. So, like, to come to terms, I guess, is the way to put it. You know, loss is definitely something we all have to deal with at times. And how do we deal with it? Depends on the size of the loss, I'm guessing. It depends on where we are in that stage in our lives as well. If you're already in a very vulnerable state and then you've dealt with more loss, sometimes it's harder. And as you guys know, I was in a vulnerable state at the time. I was dealing with some stuff here at home. So that was hard too, because then I was like, where I turn, because things at home aren't, you know, like where they should be, sort of situation. So I was able to start to finally work it out, to forgive myself, to forgive him, to forgive everybody I felt like had done me a transgression, to be honest with you. I began to work on the grief process. I began to realize that my soul can finally listen to my head and know that this is not going to be the end of me. This, as we all know, you say you survive 100% of your worst days so far. That this was the worst day so far, and I survived it. Yes, it's sad. Yes, it's still, I have to be honest with you, I can't keep from thinking about him. But the difference now is the thoughts aren't overwhelming of my day. It's very difficult to not have him enter into my mind. But much like before he passed, and every day I would think about him, you know, and before I moved, I would think about him and call him, since I moved, or text him. since I moved, I would think about him and only call him or text him occasionally because I didn't want to feel like, I don't know. He was a very smart human being who sometimes I just felt like I didn't want to look like I was a desperate fool, even though I was a desperate fool. But I'm able to not, it doesn't get overwhelming like it did months ago, which is fantastic. So then I'm able to work through it. So then I'm able to do things, and that's a big thing too. I have some organizational videos I'm going to be posting here soon. Not here, but on the main channel. We did some purging and cleaning. I felt like it was very cathartic. Just very healing to just to cleanse, not only, so I feel like I've cleansed my soul, I've cleansed my heart, but now I can cleanse my space. I know it doesn't look like it right now because it's all around me again, but it's clear over there. So Lisa kidnapped me to Georgia, and then after a few days on like New Year's Eve, we drove back to Texas. And then I spent about a week and a half, a little bit longer, there. 11 days actually, because it was New Year's Eve, and I left on the 11th. There's math for you. And then she had to go back to work, so we decided that, or Emily decided that she was going to drive me back and then drive back herself, and she did amazing. This was the longest road trip she did by herself. So when we were going, I was like, I will drive for you at whatever you want, but I think that it's probably best if you see if you can do the actual trip yourself, like the actual 786-mile drive. And she's like, I agree with you. So she drove the whole way there, so she knew she could drive the whole way home. She made much better time by herself than she did with me. I really thought it'd be the other way around, but I was wrong. But she made much better time on the way home, which was really good. She left really early on Friday morning, so she could be home for the weekend and the kids and stuff. So while she was here, she said, I'm going to come. She's like, we can do anything or nothing. So I utilized her a little bit, but at first I said to her, because being at Lisa's house, and I watched her baby one night. It's a lot of like more physical activity than I'm normally used to. So that and the road trip, when we got home, I was like, I just like to rest today. Is that okay? And we rested for a little bit. Then she has been really into like the clearance Walmart groups. So she wanted to maybe go to some Walmarts, and I was like, let's go to some Walmarts. There's a few here within like 40 minutes in each direction. We can hit like 5 of them, So we ended up doing that. We actually, ironically, never went to the Walmart here in Rolla. Yeah, it's kind of weird. But she went, she found some things. We found some things. We found some things over in Houston when we were clearance shopping too. She did really well at one store. Anyway, so we did that on Tuesday. And then we went for T-Mobile Tuesday had a free Jimmy John's Jr. Jimmy. Is that what it's called? A mini Jimmy. Small John. Little John. That's what it's called. Little John. A Little John sandwich that they had free on T-Mobile Tuesday. So then Wednesday, I just gave her mine and she got hers. So her and the baby could have lunch. And then I came home and I had lunch. And I was nice because I was able to cook for her. There's this amazing dish that I'm going to share with you guys because it's so good. And it's just a crock pot or Instant Pot meal. And I can't wait to share it with you. It was so good. She taught it to me. I think she found it on Facebook. Or I don't think Pinterest. I think Facebook. So we made that one day. We went to Aldi to go to grocery shopping. To get stuff for the house, for here, to make dinner. And then on Thursday, the day before she left, I said, maybe we can go and you can help me purge my Christmas stuff. So at the end of each holiday season, normally I've crafted a ton and I don't have a ton to purge because I want to just keep, right now I want to keep the boxes that I have, except for with one exception. So I had stuff on the couch and I had stuff that I'd purchased and I had stuff that I pulled out from actual, like, the decor, and I purged it. So I asked her to help me purge Christmas. We took everything out of all 3 boxes, everything that I had purchased, and we put everything back in the, you know, like what I was going to keep, just the 3 boxes. I gave away 2 giant garbage bags full of stuff. Actually, oh, here's one. There's 1 garbage bag here. They're actually, the other one's out in the kitchen waiting to go to our friend who takes all the things. And what I have left is like everyday crafting stuff. So I have a lot of everyday crafting stuff. Some of it will go in the closet. Some of it has to be repurged. Some of it just has to be organized. Because it's really, since I did my closet and then the Dollar Tree, their crafters corner, like, poof. So I have to like redo my closet. I don't know how long this video is, but it's been a long time since I talked to you, so I don't really care. So, you'd be proud of me. I didn't buy... Did we go to one Dollar Tree while we were in Texas? Aunt Sue gave me a gift card. Was that Texas? Was that here? No, it was in Texas. It was her new... That's right. You guys, shared it with you guys. Her new Dollar Tree in the town that she lives in. They opened one. When I was there in August, they were just building it. Like, you know, just getting ready to stock it. So it opened really recently. So I went there. I did okay. You know, like, I got a few things. But mostly the everyday craft stuff, I'm like, the Dollar Tree keeps coming out with all this great stuff. Then I'm like, where am I going to put it all, kind of thing. So I know, craft, Jerry, and it'll go away. But in all honesty, full disclosure, I wanted to tell you that I'm probably going to share with you in the next vlog the plans we have for the house, the plans we have for the office, and the way it is now, it's not very conducive to creativity. Some people think it's because I have so much, but my creative juices work when I have so much. The problem is when I don't have any place to put it, that's an issue. So we're doing some things around here. We're going to be doing some things in the spring, which of course I'll take you along. I'm just excited about it. I'm excited about the future, which is the first time since August that I've been excited about the future. And I am really, truly excited. Like, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to what will come soon. Now, this is not a plea for money. This is not at all. Everybody's on hard times now. As you can imagine, putting out content, my revenue has dropped into the toilet. So I do have to work, like I have to work. But I've had to work for months, but this is the first time where I feel like I want to work, which is really good. That's why I picked up the camera this morning and I wanted to tell you guys everything that's been going on. So I say blow up this video, but you all just watch this because you love me and you're going to watch it whether you love, whether you blow it up or not, it's going to blow. But we're going to work on some ways that I've been healing. I'm going to share with you some organizational stuff that I've been doing. And I look forward to us in the future and more coffee chats because I really did miss you. Now, I am going to ask you still to forgive me for not getting into the comments as much. As much better my eyes are, they really still are not able to read the screen for very long. It's why I'm not on other social media platforms as much either. I watch a lot of YouTube on my TV. But only channels that I know have commercials on TVs. Everybody else I'll play on the phone, like the little channels. Sometimes the little channels don't have their commercials come up on the TV. So if I don't see a commercial on somebody's video on the TV, I'll immediately turn it off and watch it on the phone. Just so I can help them out with their revenue and stuff. So. Anyhow, let's get back to the point. Thank you. I love you. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. I'll see you next time. Bye. Can't wait. Bye. Hot Mess Express coming at you. Whoop, whoop. Ah. 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 You guys know that I have naturally curly hair. And on, I don't know, once a month-ish on shower night, I don't put any product in it. So it gets like dry and unruly and curly and all the things. Oh.